Alright, Shalom, Shalom. Gonna say Kalayim wa Yahweh Bashem Yahushai Bashem Ha Rekah Kodash, and double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone GMS who do rule and teach well. Today we're gonna be getting into the book of Isaiah, the 25th chapter. Honestly, gonna get into the whole thing. Pretty, easy to understand. I'm not gonna make this too long. O Lord, thou art my power. I will exalt thee. I will praise thy name, for thou hast done wonderful things. Thy counsels of old are faithfulness and truth. This is Hallie's Bible Handbook, page 297, chapter 25. I'm not going to read all of them, I'm just going to read the first part. Here Isaiah has transported himself beyond the crash of worlds, which isn't the crash of worlds. This is the bullshit that, these silly Bible scholars say, and with their silly breakdowns. They don't have the spirit. They are wise and carnal matters. They're wise with things such as history. They can find and push out certain pieces of information. They can push out certain pieces of historical information and stuff like that. But when it comes to things of the spirit, they don't have it. They can't do it. Like we can go into the spiritual things. They don't really have the right breakdown of things like prophecies and things like that, or understanding how certain prophecies are talking about history but also apply to empires that will come down later on. Some of these guys get things wrong, like Ezekiel 38, but I think a lot of them are coming around now. I remember they used to have some weird stuff, but now they're starting to say Gog and Magog is Russia, and stuff like that. I think they said it was something else before, but I don't know, man. Don't quote me on that. I thought maybe this handbook, I saw something in here that said some different, or I don't know. Of course, the whole Egypt, Babylon thing they get wrong, and they think that the Babylon in Revelation 17 chapter is the same Babylon. I'm talking too much. Here Isaiah has transformed himself beyond the crash of worlds, right, which is the end of the age, right? Esau is the end of the world. Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it. That followeth, right? In second address, was it 6 and 9 or 9 and 6? I think it might be 9 and 6. Into the age of the new heavens and the new earth, right? Which that's Revelation 21. And put into the mouth of the redeemed the song of praise to the Most High, redeemed the elect for his wonderful works, right? For thou hast made of a city an heap, of a defenced city a ruin, a palace to strangers to be no city, it shall never be built, right? And what is that land that's never going to be rebuilt? Here in America, all these lands, all these cities, around the world, strongholds around the world, they will be destroyed, but these cities are gonna come back. These cities out here that are not America, they're gonna rebuild, and then eventually these nations will go back into their land, after that 1,000-year time period is over with. And then Revelation, the 20th chapter, when that 1,000-year time period is over, was it the dead live not again to 1,000 years be fulfilled? So these are the nations, they're gonna come back and rebuild their stuff. But at the 1,000-year period is over, according to Obadiah 1 and 18, Esau is gonna be destroyed, and he's not gonna be like, oh, Esau at the 1,000-year time period goes back to Edom and he lives with us. No. That land is gonna be taken. So Edom shall be possession. This is the book of Numbers 24 and 17. This is Balaam, which you can go into the history of Balaam and things like that. He's pretty much, I think he was hired by one of these Moabite kings, Balak, to curse Israel, but the Lord he turned it into a blessing for Israel. He was like a false prophet. I shall see him, but not now. I shall behold him, but not nigh. There shall come a star of Jacob, and a scepter shall rise out of Israel. This is Yahushua, same scepter, and read about in was Genesis 49. It talks about I think he calls him Shiloh. I think the word Shiloh means like chosen. So there's a whole breakdown with that. But it represents Yahushua. Shall rise out of Israel, and shall smite the corners of Moab, and destroy all the children of Sheph. Right. And Edom shall be possession, Seir also shall be possession for his enemies, and Israel shall do violently. Yeah, that's right. Let's see here. I actually want to see. I never actually went into this. I don't think it really tells you. See the body, the buttocks, tumult. That's what it was. All the people of tumult, all the tumultuous people. If you look at different translations, they'll say all the people of tumult. And Edom shall be possession, Seir also shall be a possession for his enemies, and Israel shall do violently. And that's right. So that's going to happen when Yahushua comes back. We're going to conquer Edom. It's going to belong to, Judah, which I believe is it's the book of Amos 9 and 10. It's not this one. There's one that talks about how Israel is going to take his land back, but Judah is going to take over Edom. Let's see if I can find this. Judges. No, it's in the prophetic book. Isaiah 30. Judah, children of Ammon. Let's come from Basra. Shall lay their hand upon Edom. Edom. Edom no more. Edom shall be desolation. Take it against Edom and his purposes. Mighty men of Edom, daughter of Edom, because of Edom adult. Shall lay my hand upon Edom, by them my vengeance. Give me a sec. Alright, so I'm sorry for wasting your time, but you can go here. This is the book of Obadiah 1 and 18, so I'm just going to get it here. And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble. And they shall kindle in them and devour them. There shall not be remaining any of the house of Esau, for the Lord has spoken it. Alright, so they're going to die on that side, and then they'll come back as different nations, because reincarnation is still gonna happen. They'll just die and reincarnate into amongst these other nations and come back, so it's just gonna be on that side. There will be no more Edomites. They prepared and performed their purpose, and then it will be time to get rid of all of them. And they of the south shall possess the mount of Esau, and they of the plain, the Philistines, and they shall possess the fields of Ephraim, the fields of Samaria, and Benjamin shall possess Gilead. Right in the south, which I believe Negev means south, but the people of the south, pretty much talking about Judah, because Judah is in the south. They're gonna have the Mount of Esau, which is around about modern day Jordan, and that's area is actually still around, and it's like a tourist attraction. Tourist attraction. God damn, dude. Tourist attraction. Damn, man. Tourist attraction. It's a tourist attraction. People go there and pose in front of the, different caves and stuff, the monuments, and all that stuff looks similar to the whole Roman stuff, because Rome and Esau are actually pretty tight and stuff like that, and because they're the same people. But that's another video for another day. And one of those Edomite kings, the line of Herod. I think one of the last ones, he actually stayed inside of Rome, and he would go on to later marry, and well, not marry, but get it on with his own sister, because Esau built like that, man. Esau's like that. And they shall possess the fields of Ephraim and the fields of Samaria, and Benjamin shall possess Gilead. Right, those living in the foothills of Judah will possess the Philistine plains. Right, so they say, and take over the fields of Ephraim and Samaria. Right, so Ephraim's gonna have his land back. They have Samaria back, and people of Benjamin will occupy the land of Gilead. Yeah, that's pretty much that, right? We're gonna go back to that land, exiles, the captivity. This whole the children of Israel shall possess that of the Canaanites. So pretty much we're gonna get back into our land. It'll be perfect again. Alright, let's go back to what we were talking about before. So we mentioned that. We would just kind of get into this. For thou hast made of your city a heap, over the fence of your ruin, the house of strangers to be built no more, shall not be built. Therefore shall a strong people glorify thee, the city of charitable nations shall fear thee. Strong nations will declare your glory, and ruthless nations will fear you. Right? And that's why, read about, this is kind of like basic stuff. Get to the point, Amos 2:2, and it shall come to pass in the last days, the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established in the top of the hills, and shall be exalted above all the hills, and all nations shall flow into it, and many people shall go and say. Now this one's talking about before the talk go on. This year, the mountain of the Lord's house, which is the government or the rulership, will be the highest of all, the most important place on earth. It will be raised above all the other hills, all the other nations, and all the people from all over the world will stream there to worship, because we're going to force them to go worship. So we're going to be the governing body over the whole world. And many people shall go and say, come ye, let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of the God of Jacob, and he teaches us his ways, and we walk in his paths. Out of Zion shall go forth the law, and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. Same thing as I just said. We shall judge among the nations, and shall rebuke many people, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. A nation shall not lift the sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. They're just gonna obey us. Right, the Lord, Yahweh Shai, Yahushai, on down to throughout the whole order. King David, the 12, original 12. The elect 144,000, and we're gonna dictate the order. We're going to mediate between these nations. It will settle international disputes. They will hammer their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation will not fight against nation anymore, nor train for war anymore. So yeah, that's what's going to happen. So everyone's going to fear us in those days. Yeah. Isaiah 14:1, for the Lord have mercy on Jacob, will let choose Israel, and a stranger shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. Israelite foreigners, right? They shall cleave to the house of Jacob. And it's talking about our people, But you're also going to have, if you really think about it, you're also going to have Jakes that are going to survive, the whole World War III thing, because the whole world's going to be destroyed. You have some Jakes in these different nations that survive. We'll pretty much grab them up and bring them with us to the kingdom. There's a scripture that'll go into that. I think if you go into like 2nd Esdras 15 or 16, I believe one of those go into it. But you should be able to find it. Just look up a breakdown, and it should be all good. If you ask me in the comments, and you're like, oh, I can't find this, then I'll help you out. I'll put it out there for you, but it's out there. You should be able to find it on your own. The people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids, and they shall take them captives, who captives they were, and they should rule over their oppressors. The last part tells you this is talking about these other nations. Tells you this is something different. So they're going to take those who See, those who captured Israel will themselves be captured, and Israel will rule over its enemies. So, because I don't even really need to read on more than this. So, the other nations who ruled us and captured us and treated us like garbage, we're gonna have the rulership over them. So, Amalek, Moab, Ammon, these nations that call us, names and make fun of us online and make fun of us in person and treat us like garbage. We're pretty much going to have the power and rulership over them in the kingdom of heaven. So we can go back, right? For thou hast been a strength to the poor of our people, a strength to the needy in his distress, a refuge from the storm, a shadow from the heat. When the blast of the terrible ones is a storm against the wall. Right? NLT, but you are a tower of refuge to the poor, O Lord, a tower of refuge to the needy in distress. You are a refuge from the storm and a shelter from the heat, for the oppressive acts of ruthless people are like a storm beating against the wall. And that's what it is like. It's just wild, the stuff that they do. We know about the FEMA camps and all that stuff that they have set up. So this is absolutely spot on by the prophet Isaiah. Thou shalt bring down the noise of strangers as heat in the dry pit, as a heat in the dry place, even the heat with the shadow of a cloud. The branch of the terrible one shall be brought low. We mentioned that already. Isaiah 2, Isaiah 14. There's many more you can find. The Lord will set them in the land, none shall make them afraid. So on and so forth. Like the relentless heat of the desert, but you silence the roar of foreign nations as the shade of a cloud cools from the heat. So the boastful songs of ruthless people are sealed. He's a top ruthless people, nation of Edom, right? Because thou hast slowed thy brother Jacob, hast not despised blood, thou was not afraid to shed blood. I think that's in Ezekiel, but I'm just gonna get the one that I know. What am I thinking of? What am I thinking of, dude? What am I thinking of? I'll go to this one. Psalm 2 and 1, why the people heathen rage, and why the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing, right? Why the nation so angry, why they waste their time with their futile plans, because their plans they have is to take the rulership. Once the Yahushua comes down, they think that they're going to somehow kill him and then be the ones to rule the new world order for eternity. Let me see. What was I trying to say here? Yeah, that's what Spring was saying. Their noise. Yeah, that's the noise of strangers. Them heathen rage. Trying to rule over us and basically try to kill Yahushua, rule over us forever, which isn't going to happen. You can read on more with the Psalm 2. They try to break our bands asunder, try to cause us to not know that we're people. But then you got to go back to Isaiah 1 and 10 and things like that. And in this mountain shall the Lord of hosts make a feast, make it to all people feast of fat things, a feast of wines and the lees, of fat things full of marrow, of wines and the lees well refined. In Jerusalem, the Lord Heaven's army will spread a wonderful feast for all the people of the world. It should not be all the people of the world, it will be for all of us. It will be a delicious banquet with clear, well-aged wine and choice meat, right? And I heard, I watched a breakdown brother brought out, this one. I just kind of skimmed around the video. But Matthew 22 and 4, again he sent forth other servants, saying, tell them which are bidden, both I prepare my dinner, my oxen and my fatlings are killed, and all things ready, come into the marriage. Right, we know that marriage is going to be when we are made, one mind with, Yahushai, and basically become perfect, which is the exact same thing as the new covenant. Let's just read from here. Same thing. Revelation 21:1. I saw a new heaven, a new earth. For the first heaven, the first earth are passed away, and there was no more sea. Okay, this does not mean that there was a whole different, world. The planet was destroyed, right? We know that the earth abideth forever. Things like that. Was it Ecclesiastes 1:4? He's talking about a new age. As I said before, you got to precept that. Second, I think it's 9-6. And I, John, saw New Jerusalem coming down from the most high of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. And that's talking about the people. We know it's a people before it's a place. New Jerusalem, that has to be built by you other nations. We're going to force you to build it. So pretty much after, the radiation subsides and things like that, we're going to come down from the chariot and, come on down and start to collect your nations and put you all into slavery. All the Jakes in these different lands. We're going to go grab them up. If you want to be a part of the kingdom, we'll have you be a part of the kingdom. If you have Jakes out there that are going to be silly, that we put to death and they'll just reincarnate in the kingdom anyway, because all Israel should be saved. And that's going to be that. And I heard a great voice of heaven saying, "Behold, the tabernacle of God is with men. He will dwell with them. They shall be his people, and God himself shall be with them and be their God." And that's what that is, And God shall wipe away all tears from the eyes. There should be no more death, neither sorrow, nor crying. Neither should be any more pain, for the former things have passed away. So no more captivities, no more suffering, no more pain, no more going off, no more sin, no more of any of this, ridiculous garbage that we've put ourselves through and we got ourselves into. We will destroy this mountain, the face of the covering castle of all people, and the veil that is spread over all nations. So we remove the cloud of gloom, the shadow of death that hangs over the earth. Oh wow. But we know this is really talking about, Esau, Edom, because that's what they do. They're the nation that basically covers up all the truth. And you see here the shadow of death, that hangs over the earth. You could apply that to that too. Just they are a shadow of death, like the cloud of gloominess. Their rulership has been a gloomy cloud over the whole earth. Everything they do is death, destruction. You can look at things like the skull and bones. What is the logo? What is the whole thing of the skull and bones? The logo? What is it? Skull and bones. It's death. It represents death, destruction. They worship death. All right. If you look at Duma, the burden of Duma. The burden of Duma, he called to me out of sea, a watchman, what of the night, watchman, what of the night, right? So it's basically from the perspective of a messenger, talking about Edom. And what this goes into is basically kind of like history, right? The watchman said, "The morning cometh, also the night. If you inquire, ye return come. Inquire ye return come." So basically, the watchman from Edom is asking, "Hey, what about the night? Like, how much longer until morning? When will the night be over?" But basically, in that time, back then, Esau didn't have a morning. He was in the night or in captivity, and just went back into another captivity. Like they say, he was doing pretty well with Assyria, and then he got put down, and did pretty good with Babylon. Then he got put down. And then he got put down again by the Nabateans later on. Then they ruled Edom, for some time and stuff like that. Pretty much, pretty sure they were ruling them all the way up until 70 AD and stuff like that. And then eventually that land, everyone left that land eventually. We got taken out of it and stuff like that. And in time Ishmael got in that land, and then Esau came back in that land as the Turks, and basically put that boot down on Ishmael, and then that takes us to World War I, and then that's how you get the Balfour. So the burden of Duma. So the word Duma, they say it's a southern district of Edom, but it's also silence or death, a mystical name of Edom indicating death and ruin, because what Esau represents, death and ruin. His skin pigmentation, it all represents death. He is literally death, So this is too long. I'm going to close it out for now. We'll edify. I'll we'll come back here tomorrow, and I'll just finish the rest of this Lord in your Shalom.